Alright, so did you guys check your answers in your calculator?
That's how much it is.
Let's do the next part. Let's do 7, 8, and 9. Because that's tax, tip, and discount. Okay? I know, but this way it makes it easy. Come on. Pick your head up off the desk. Tax, tip, and discount. First you have to do the tip, and then you have to do the tax. So number 7, the cost of the meal is $30, right? So you take your $30 and you move your decimal point. Which way? How many times? Once. So you wind up with 3, right? So you put 3 in every box.
That's 3,600.
Right? So now you have 30. You have $30. Plus, how much is the tip? It's 15%. How much is the tip?
I didn't feel like your eye here.
You got $4.
It's not 9, it's 15%.
Not 600.
Alright, one of these is in half. So what's 3? What's half of 3?
It's 36.
1.5. Very good. So add this up. 4.5. So you have $30 plus $4.50. Right? And then it says that the tax, it's the same thing. It says that the tax is 5%. So now you have this. Let's add this up. 34.50. And then we have to start all over again. So we have a new price. We have 34.50. We have to move our decimal point. And so it becomes what? 4. Can't leave off the last part. 3.45 and 3.45, right? And we want 5%. So what do we do with this one? How do we do that? Divide by 2. What's 3.45 divided by 2? It's not $2. $1.72. So we have to add that to our price. Look, excuse me. Pay attention. Pay attention. Stop disrupting the class and pay attention. I'm over here.
He disrupted me.
Turn your desk around so you're facing this way and ignore him. Because you were supposed to come here, but you're supposed to do it. You're not. But you're also talking to him. Alright, so let's add this up. And you're still talking. What's 0 plus 2? 5 plus 7? 4, 5, 6, and then 3. So if you came into a restaurant, you ready? If you came into a restaurant and your bill was originally $30, right? By the time you paid your tip to the waitress of $4.50, and by the time you paid the taxes on the bill, you would have to totally pay $36.22. Okay? 36. Got it? Alright. Try 8 and 9. Try 8 and 9. I don't get that. Okay? And then you take that price and you put it in your chart so that you can have an amount of percentages that you need. Got that part? And then you just take it and add it up. Whatever percentage you need, add it up. Okay?
I just bought all the last
I just did it by multiplying and then adding. do it the long way, that way you need to, that's how I feel. Because my kids use calculators. Okay, then you're gonna, what is 75% of 15?
If you use these, you have $30, you put 3 in every box.
I was like, Dad, don't we worry about that for kids?
At least you get 10.
75.
Who has to go to the bathroom? That is restricted. You guys stop talking.
So $11, 25 cents. You have to pick up the move.
So it's asking
So
about
$11, 60%. So how much is that? So if you move the 2 places to the left, it's going to be at 11.25, right? That's what that's.
they want 15. Ten divided by what? Right
Now they're asking you something different. 36 is 18.
Y'all getting it? Y'all got it? Hello? This group right here. Oh, y'all get it? Okay, 4.5. That's how much your tip is. So put 4.5.
Then add find out
Plus 4.5.
36 is 18% number. $6.48. Now add that back to the 36. Add that back. Right, because they're not asking you what is 18% of 36. They're asking you what is it? 40? What is 8% of 52.5? Again, same times 8.
I don't know what you're doing.
All right, so let's go over.
26, yeah, 26, but wait.
Oh!
Wait,
Anyway,
You could go to jail.
let's prove what you've done. Okay, so in your calculator, do $52 times. How do I write 15% as a decimal? Right, times 0.15. Very good. Do it. Okay, write that down. 52 plus.
A tank top. Oh, 52.
This man is. What's your name?
He said 2.25. That's ain't no tank top.
Okay, 7.85.
That's ain't no tank top.
18% of what number?
Okay. Now do 52.
We got 4.
So you have 52
Wrong, 5. Okay, so I need to
times the 15% gives you
equals 40% of what number?
$7.80, right?
50%
Add that up.
of
0,
it would be
8,
9.
9,
That's
5. 59.80.
Yes.
Right? Now take your 59.80 times what's 5% as a decimal?
What's that?
No, it's not 0.5. That's 50.
Oh, no.
It's 0.05. So it's 59.80 times 0.05. What do you get?
Can I go now?
That's your tax. So now add this up. Oh God! 62, 62.79. 9, 10, 2. 62.79. Is that what you all got? That's what it should be. 62.79. Okay? That's how you check it in the calculator. Let's try the last one. Make sure you have this. Write it down. Make sure you have it. Now let's do the last one.
18 is they're talking more money. It's got to be a higher number. It's almost going to be 50% of 18 would be what, 9? Would you say it was $8 a month? Say it again. It might be a portion of the
15% is what?
So just do it now. Just write it out.
77.
Right. Or just do,
Okay, add this up. 7, 7, 10, $20.77 times your 5%.
Okay, 7. Go ahead and do it 99 times.
Don't guess. 24.77 times 0.0. Oh, net times
1.0. Okay, so yes, you did.
No, it's 1 point.
It's 1.08.
Right. Because 10%
It's $1.03, right? 1.03.
We're not going.
You don't have to. Let's add this up. $21.80. So if you go to the restaurant and your bill comes out to $18, you're gonna tip the person that brought you your food $2.77. And then once they put the tax on there for your meal, you're gonna pay a total of $21.80. Okay?
Don't get
We know
Don't they get paid for that?
No, they don't really get paid that much. They don't really get paid that much.
Nah, I know. One because you hear Broadway on
Okay, turn your packet to the next page, scale factor. Did you all copy this one down? Make sure you copy that one down. Good. Can I rate? Has to deal with you having a map and then telling you that 1 inch on the map. I'm sorry, wait. Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? Because if you looking at me, you wouldn't know he was looking at you. Pay attention. Okay, so scale factor has to do with really? Right. Stop. Scale factor has to do with, this is the 4th time that I started this sentence. Stop. It gives you a scale at the bottom of every map, right? And it will say 1 inch equals 5 miles, or ½ an inch equals 5 miles, or this amount of centimeters, right, on your map. And so you always compare your scale The scale is,
Which is 80%.
stop. The scale is the first proportion that you write.
They only paid.
So write that down, okay?
I think what you did here, $5.99 plus $6.99. No, I'm sorry. It's 80% of last.
You got it?
Write
this down.
I think what they want you to do is subtract $6.99 from that five, whatever you came up with.
Write it on the top of the paper.
So we're going to say $6.99.
Thank you for writing it down. Thank you for writing it down.
Oh, we can get that. We can
Okay, so let's look at the third question, because the first two questions are just asking you to write down the scale, and we already know what that is. So let's write down the third one. So the scale is saying for every 4 centimeters, it equals 7 meters. Right? And so then it says, stop. It says for every 2 centimeters, how many meters is it? So you have 2 centimeters at the top, and at the bottom we don't know the meters. Right?
So to me,
what's the first step in solving proportion? So do your cross products. I like for the centimeters to be out here and the meters to be out here, because when you start crossing, you get all of these letters confused with your variable. Okay? So this becomes 4 what? 4x.
So last month the price was
equals. Good. Now what? What's the next step? Good. 14 divided by 4 is what?
838.80.
Sit down.
So you can check it. I mean,
Sit down.
I think it's
14 divided by 4 is what?
times 20%. That might have that would give us the $6.99.
3.5. So this is just telling you, this is meters.
Okay. So what price did you get?
This is just telling you, give me 1 second. This is just telling you that for every centimeter is 3.5 meters. Get it? How many centimeters? 2 centimeters. Very good. Thank you. 2 centimeters. So when you have 2 centimeters on your paper, it equals 3.5 meters.
That's the 20%.
Okay?
Add it
Got
back
it.
into
Yes.
the $6.99.
Who is it? And where are they? Go ahead. Let's do this section right here. Do this section. Let's go. Do this section right here.
Sales price is $6.99, and that's only 80% off. Right? That's a lot off. That's 42.
You left off that? I want to show you scale factor. I want to show you missing figures. All right. So the last section of proportion that I want you to know, and excuse me, this group right here, I need you all to pay attention, okay? I'm on
What page?
the last page, not the last page, but page 95, the page before the last. Sit down, please.
Let's go there, guys, everybody, and then we'll go back.
Please listen, okay? Similar figures, right? You're going to have a figure, and they're going to be similar. What's the word if the figures are the same size? Congruent, right? So we know we're not dealing with figures that are the same size. We're dealing with figures that are different sizes. And this is what you'll see. You'll see a missing side on one figure and an amount on the other figure, right? And then you see another amount at the bottom. And what you're supposed to do is compare the sides to find out what the missing side could be. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. So this is our first triangle, and that's our second triangle. So how do I write the sides out? I would write x over 4.
Oh yeah, 4. 6 over 8.
And then how do you know to write the 6 first?
Because the side, X on the side.
Because it's the side that matches the side that we don't know, right? Very good. So you put the 6 at the top over the 8. By the way, this is just review, right? So this is not the first time you're learning this, right? So let's go. Let's do our crisscross.
It's 24.
So what's the first part?
It's X.
8x
8X. And then
equals, what's 6 times 4? 24. What's the next step?
Divided by 8.
Divide out the 8.
3.
Very good. 3. So this side would have to be 3, right? To make these equal, okay? That is proportions with similar figures. Now, you're not always going to have figures that look exactly perfect like this, right? And some of them won't be triangles. What can they be?
Any square.
They could be
Trapezoid.
Stop.
Quadrilateral.
Stop. Could they be squares?
Yes.
Yes. Even though all the sides of a square are what? Equal, right? They could still be squares. They'll make one smaller and one bigger. What else could they be?
Anything except a circle.
Rectangles.
They can't. Hexagons.
Any
Anything except a circle.
any shape except the circle, right? Why can't it be a circle? Listen,
There's no angle.
because a circle does not have any sides. That was very good. Very good. Excellent. Okay? So that's how you do similar figures. Be careful also because they're going to turn the figures around, right? And they're not going to look perfect like this. So you're going to have to figure out which side would go with which side. For instance, what if they gave you this?
It's just hard. One is
How would you know what side is what? What if they say this is X, this is 7,
just target two sides.
this is 9, and this is 11. What side goes with what?
7-11. It's X11. It's 11X.
Well, first of all, what would you need to do first?
Flip it.
You would need to flip this one around, right?
Yeah.
You would turn it which way?
This way.
So the X would match the what?
11.
11, and the 7 would match the 9. Very good. Very good. All right, so you have a few of these on your paper. Go ahead and work on them. Go ahead and practice. Do numbers 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
Page 95. The last page.
Yeah.
So this is the entrance to my classroom, and outside of my door I have posters which the children created for a project that they had to do. They had to create a poster explaining one of the math concepts, and that is outside of my room. And then when you come inside, I have an art wall, because some of my students are very creative, and so they create art, and I put it up on the wall for them. And then I have every strand on the wall, and in those strands I have concept cards so that the students can glance up there when they're trying to remember a concept or something that I've taught. And then on this wall I have their achievements and papers that they have completed. And on this wall I have their scores and of what they've done on the tests. And then I also have charts where I keep track of whether or not they've brought a pencil or papers that I've asked them to hold on to, and they are rewarded for bringing those things. At the end of the 9 weeks, I have a raffle for those things. I also have a smartboard in my room, which we have been using all year, and I also have the old-fashioned chalkboard, which we had whiteboards and they took them down. So this is my room in a nutshell, including the word wall that I have here for vocabulary words and just a basic classroom. Thank you for your interest in wanting to get to know me as a teacher. I hope that you choose me to work in DC Public Schools. I'm really looking for a change, and God bless. Bye-bye.